So I was telling you about this telephonic concept of dyadic communication. So whenever you are doing any kind of virtual meeting, whenever you are a part of any virtual meeting or you're conducting a telephonic session, always make sure that if the time zone is considered first, that will be an appropriate method and appropriate gesture of you as an interviewer to conduct the interview. Because when you are making the interviewee comfortable with the time zone, the applicability, the practicality, and also the kind of conduciveness that you create increases automatically. So speak very clearly during the telephonic conversations. That is the first and the primemost point. Reason being, when you're speaking clearly, you are getting better communicational chances. If you're slurring during the telephonic call, there's no point. And if you are not clear to the person, you can restate yourself, paraphrase yourself, summarize the context, and always follow up the conversation with an email or a letter, any kind of a WhatsApp message, depending on your feasibility. So, this is a bit about the telephonic dyadic communication. Now, sender's preparation prior to a phone call. What must the sender keep into mind while he's making the telephonic calls? Know your specific purpose why you're making a call. Have a clear mindset in terms of objectives rather than haphazard thoughts in your mind. Introduce yourself if calling after a very long time or if calling for the very first time. Know the exact timings, official timings of the person. Or if you're organizing an interview for the fresher, let him know the time prior to your calling. Always give a kind of thought to your opening statement. Hello, I'm so and so, and this call is from this organization regarding this. State your objectives very clearly. Jot down the points and always have the documents with you. Maybe a resume or a CV or something, mail, something like that. Now, message receivers guidelines, always be patient. Don't create chaos. Don't be so prompt. Listen. Don't interrupt always. If you're not able to understand anything, you may ask that, ma'am, could you please rephrase your question again? Ma'am or sir, I didn't understand. Pardon, please. So always go for these kind of verbal gestures, and the closure must be very, very polite. So these are very simple things you being required to know, but many a times people forget while they are interviewing and while the person is being interviewed. So make sure that these all agendas are embedded in you. Dictating is also one of the prime concerns, prime reasons of developing a better dyadic communication. How? Dictation. Don't consider it a dictation for a kindergarten student. Dictation is a special type of dyadic communication in which people communicate directly or through an electronic device. That means writing something, emailing something. You want to communicate with another person with a third party involvement. You want someone else type a message for you by whatever you have dictated. And it can be in the form of an audio note, a voice note, a WhatsApp message, an automated email, or an automated WhatsApp message. So these are all a kind of dictation methodology observed and practiced in the dyadic communication. So shorthand mechanism taken up by the recorders. So these are very common techniques which we don't understand, but they play a very integral role in our dyadic communication. Suggestions for dictating. If you are dictating something to someone, if you're writing something for someone, these suggestions must be taken in your consideration. In addition to all the suggestions for telephonic, like collecting the information, planning your blueprint for the talk, organizing and synchronizing your ideas, speaking in a very clear tone, always thinking about enunciations, pronunciations. So, what are the other more suggestions to be considered while dictation? Number one is that always have a very precise name. Always make sure that the addressee's address should be very clear. When you are dictating, you should be very clearly differentiating your tongue for the alphabet P and B, F and V, T and D. Because spelling, sometimes not spelled, can be considered wrong. So that is one of the suggestion now followed by many of the people when they are going for the interview. So they say, my name is Dipali Seth. It spells Deepali or Deepali. Now, what am I? Why am I telling my spelling? I am telling my spelling to make myself more clear to the person who is listening me. The same goes with the dictation method also. If you're dictating something to someone, make sure your alphabets are very clearly pronounced. And therein comes the concept of enunciation. Suggest punctuation, especially when in the doubt. Your commas, your apostrophes, your inverted commas, your full stops, your periods, everything should be highly recommended to give a look upon. Suggested punctuations must be considered. Don't go for side comments. Dictating is a mechanism where you should not be very, very fast, should not be very, very slow, but at the mid of it, at the juncture of it. Suggest with when you need the recorded info and where you can be reached. Many times people give some recorded information also and some typed information also. So if you require both the things, do request for it. So via this whole presentation of the dyadic communication, you got to know a lot about the strategies of dyadic communication. You got to know a lot more about the mechanisms of dyadic communication, feedbacks, self-perception cycle, methodologies of interview, methodologies of telephonic interviews, what are dictation methodologies. So a kind of a module is being now learned by you. Where if somebody asks you what is dyadic communication, you know when to use defensive mechanism, when not to use defensive mechanism. So the whole module of dyadic communication is now being covered. Please go through it. And if you're not able to understand any concept, please do write it to me. Because this is a very general concept, but a very unique concept, which we must consider, which we must encounter. Rather than simply going through the lectures will not serve the purpose. Understanding the lecture, implementing those lectures in your daily life will only bring the changes in your personality. So I hope that via this lesson, you got to understand several things. And till then, stay happy, keep yourself hydrated, and we'll be talking ahead in the next lesson. Thank you.